So the reason why we wrote this book, the title of which is Arthritis, Secrets of Natural Healing. It sounds like it's a lot about your knees, but this actually has a lot to do with things happening at the same time. Whether it's high blood pressure, allergies, or joint pain, there's likely a lot of stuff that is going on in your body at the same time. And so Dr. Mao and I practice a medicine that is always looking at the entire person. We see a group of people, a group of patients with this label of arthritis, which basically is a reflection of why you came to them in the first place. Doc, my knee hurts. So that's called arthritis, which means my knee hurts. So something a little bit deeper than that is really what we practice in terms of looking at this pain here, looking at the way that your metabolism functions, and really cohesively putting together a multifaceted plan of recuperation when it comes to looking at, the cakes and wine we have or the way we sit at our desk. So we take this population of people with these issues, with these combined issues, and realize, there's a few things that traditionally we're used to doing. Maybe a little exercise, maybe a little physical therapy, maybe some anti-inflammatory medications, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Often it's like, works for a little bit. And we want to make sure that everyone is getting better and better so that their lives are longer, happier, and pain-free. That's really the reason as to why we wrote this book. We want people to be free from these labels that seem to hang around with us for so long. I'm going to go check with my doctor again, 6-month mark, and see if I still have that thing called high blood pressure or arthritis. And they say, yes, you do. Okay, keep taking your pill. Okay. And again, it's a coin toss. Sometimes you're going to enjoy the treatment you get, sometimes you won't. But our goal is to really explain that diagnosis to you. Maybe it's a diagnosis we will give you and say, this sounds like arthritis, and we will explain exactly why maybe 1 or 3 or 5 different things are happening in your body to come up with this label. So oftentimes it's usually, I've seen everybody that my mom and my dad and my neighbor has told me to see, and now I'm here at your table because I've heard through a friend that you guys are amazing, and what do I do? And so that's when we really kind of go back to square one and look at everything that's going on in your life. Your emotional background, your family history, whether things run in your family, what you've been exposed to at your workplace, at your home, and really go from there, again, to devise a custom treatment plan. Everything we do is customized. No two people with colds or joint pain are going to come in and get the same treatment from us, because that's not the way that we practice. In traditional Chinese medicine, that's really the goal of ours, is to kind of give you what you come looking for. Relief from pain, maybe a little more joy, maybe a little bit more pep in your time spent at work or time spent at home with your loved ones. So that's why we wrote this book. Very long-winded answer.
So, now, the title may be arthritis, but as Jason pointed out, it goes way beyond that. How many people know someone, or maybe you have yourself, heart disease? Heart disease? Okay. How about diabetes? Anybody? Diabetes, okay. There are similarities between arthritis, diabetes, as well as heart disease. Now, heart disease is the #1 killer in America. Like, after all these years, it still is the #1 killer. It kills over 600,000, 700,000 people a year in the U.S. Okay. Diabetes, on the other hand, is the fastest growing disease in industrialized countries. In the U.S. alone, there are currently 15 million people that are diagnosed with diabetes, and about 100 million that has prediabetes. Prediabetes means you are marching towards diabetes. So what is the common denominator between these 3 diseases? Arthritis, diabetes, and heart disease. And then if you add to that, right, to that mix, obesity and cancer, the common denominator is inflammation. At the end of the day, is inflammation. So the human body is really quite unique in the way that we have this thing called the immune system. The immune system defends us when there is a pathogen. So it's bacteria, virus, fungus, or parasites coming in the body. Your body better fight it off. Otherwise, the pathogens can overtake and break down the functions, and you could die from it. So infections are quite common. And in fact, it was not until the advent of the magic bullet, right, penicillin antibodies, that arrested the number one killer, right, in the last century, which were simply infections. Infections killed off masses of people. So you have the magic bullet, but there's a price that comes with that magic bullet, which I'll talk about in a second. But the body reacts to any kind of injury, invasion, or foreign particles. Foreign particle could be allergens like pollen, dust, grass, whatever it might be that your body doesn't like. It's foreign. There's a reaction response. And the immune system, normally, when it does what it's supposed to do, it heals the condition, and then there's healing, and then you back to your normal function. But when it malfunctions, then you've got an inflammatory process. And that inflammatory process will cause problems like arthritis.